The nights are darker beyond the forest, heated barren lands calming their skin. For the blowing wind with a loud shriek, her chants roamed on earth a century ago. She had 4 daughters to accompany her, sitting in a circle chanting the unknown songs. Evil is what you would call it if you ever hear it. No men allowed, stepping into those wasted grounds. But for the young boys with healthy semen, their chants cast a spell like a siren's song. Many boys lost in the woods and disappeared. They lure the boys and fuck them to get pregnant. The villagers called the ladies the evil witches. Bones of little babies were hung at the borders, rumoured that they kill if a boy was born to them, and teach the daughters to pray for the unknown. On a full moon night, the chants could get stronger. The wind could slice a grown bull into pieces. The voices of the witches mixed with the growl of a beast. Curiosity of the young flesh sacrifices their lives for them. The chants were continuous throughout for days and nights. Most of the villagers learned to live with these cursed chants. To whom are they praying for generations and generations? It's a common curiosity, comes to any man with a sane mind. It was the full moon night in the midsummer. A boy born to the youngest witch in the circle. Is she supposed to kill her own baby? Is she? She did bring back the shattered bones. An old witch fell into the fire the next night. One dead witch won't slow down their chants. The circle has grown bigger and bigger, while the growling of the beast grew stronger. The tall trees of the forest fell down in the night. Wise men took their families and fled the village. The poor who stayed except to mourn for their sons. Abandoned houses turned to ruins in time. The forest became the prey to the hungry, dry wind. Almost 2 decades passed, swallowing the forest completely. The natural barrier to the village was gone. Wind carried the voices to the houses to torment the living. Now, in the village, all left were the women. Men and boys were gone, except for one, a young boy who was deaf by birth. He could not hear siren songs of the witches. No one knew his father or his mother. He was found in the forest on a full moon night. Till now he had never cried, smiled, or spoke a single word. But that night they found him shaking in his sleep, bathed in sweat. It was the night before the full moon of the midsummer. He screamed, but no sound came out from his throat. They made up their minds to fate. They were forced to. The night came, and the boy left the village. The boy stood at the edge where the old forest ended. Tonight he could see his shadow from the moonlight. He looked up and saw stars for the first time. He removed his clothes. He felt a slight coldness in the wind. He could feel the strangeness in the atmosphere. Women in the village heard the shrieks and growls. Their houses fell into the grounds for the weight of the wind. They mourned for the boy and the sons they've lost. The boy walked slowly towards Witch's circle. He could not see anything but the darkness. He noticed the moon only let the light fell on him. He saw the black hands on the ground following him. He heard the desperate calling of the familiar voice. He turned his ears to the direction and sprinted. He saw the circle at a distance, and he stopped. The fire flames trying to reach the sky in the dark. The boy felt the coldness freezing his body from inside, and felt his feet lit up in yellow flames burning his skin. He didn't feel the cold nor the heat. He was amazed. He could hear the cry of a woman to save her. Now he can hear the chants, songs of the witches. It was not unknown language for him, and it said, "I bound the beast with fire. I bound the demon's desire." He walked towards the circle and touched a witch and said, "Mother," and she turned to see her only child grown, glowing in flames with all the magic he inherited from her. She couldn't kill. Instead, she brought the bones of wolves. All the chants stopped. In the silence, the fire grew taller. The witches started to cry for what about to happen. They cursed the young witch for her betrayal. They'd been containing the demon from getting out. Who will stop the great evilness yet to be unleashed? Who wrote these prophecies? No one never knew. Who started the chants to contain the demon in the fire? But there was a prophecy from the old villagers. From fire, you burn the fire once and for all. He was born to a fire witch on the coldest night. He inherited the fire inside him from the day he was born. A dark hand crawled out of the flames and grabbed the witch. Another hand crawled and tore her body in half. Inside the flames, two eyes opened, staring at the boy, and blood dripping from the appeared mouth. His eyes filled with tears in remorse of his mother. He knew what he had to do to stop this evil. The witches started the chants, holding their hands. I bound the beast with fire. I bound the demon's desire. The demon screamed as the spells pierced flames into its eyes. I bound the beast with fire. I bound the demon's desire. The boy spread his arms and turned himself into a fire spear. I bound the beast with fire. I bound the demon's desire, and plunged at the beast, piercing its throat and exploding into tiny sparks. Women at the village couldn't hear the chants anymore.